447 years after the hijrah of Honorable Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa wasallam from Makkah to Mukarramah to Al-Madinah to Munawwara. 21st day of November 2025 of the Western calendar. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all our good deeds and forgive all our shortcomings and transgressions. Today's khutbah is a continuation of last week's khutbah on the miracles of the Qur'an. Last week we talked about the literal miracles, but today, inshallah, we are going to see the scientific miracles and the technological miracles of the glorious Quran. It's a book of science and not even science. It's a book of ayat. So this Quran, and nothing but Quran, contains and said about, it has proven the scientific findings that we today we are proud of it. Scientifically. Let's go one by one. The scientific saying or proving that everything has been created from water, it has been proven by the Quran 1,400 years ago, 1,400 years ago. In the book of, in Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. That we have made everything, we create everything from water. So everything has been created from water. The same in Surah An-Nur, Allah said, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَ كُلَّ دَابَةٍ مِّن مَّاءٍ. Everything that is living on this earth has been created from water. The second miracle, said by the scientists, they said everything is in pairs. We said, wakhras. This is not new to us, we the Muslims. Why? Because we have been told by the glorious Quran in Surah Al-Zariyat, chapter 60, verse 39, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِن كُلِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَنَا زَوْجَيْنِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. Everything, we made it in pairs. Everything. أَلَمْ نَجْعَلِ الْأَرْضَ مِهَادًا وَالْجِبَالَ أَوْتَادًا وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. We made you in twos, in pairs. Therefore, there is man and woman. Everything you can think of. If you think of the sama, that is the heaven, you have the earth. The right and the left, the front and the back, the tall and short, the white and black. Everything you can think of. If you have a chair, you have a table. They are married. So, nothing that has not been created in phase by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the scientists, your science does not add us anything. It is just a proving of what Quran has been telling us in 1400 years ago. The universe's creation and the universe expansion has been also mentioned by the glorious Quran. In chapter Surah Al-Zariyat, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned the creation and the expansion. And in Surah Al-Anbiya, he said, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says in that verse, he said, أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا. That the heaven and earth are together, so we separated them. So before the creation, it was water. And the water was being looked at by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it started shivering, and it started to boil. As it was boiling, the smoke or the vapor that was coming out of the water, and the residue that was on top of the water. Now the smoke was used to create the heavens, and the residue on top of the water was used to create the earth. And they were together. Allah says, we separated them. Then if you talk of the mountains creation, it's also been mentioned by the glorious Quran. If you talk of futures creation in Surah Al-Insan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. A time has come to a man when he was nothing to be mentioned. إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتلي. We have indeed created mankind from a sperm, amshaj, that was mixed or is mixed with that of a woman. So nabtalihi faja'alnahu sami'an basira. So we talked to the scientists. We said this has been mentioned by the glorious Quran 1400 years ago. Then in Surah Al-Hajj also Allah mentioned, يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في ريب من البعث فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم من مضغة معلقة وغير مخلقة لنبين لكم. So that we can explain to you. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ ثم جعلنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما. Allah says, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. All these were mentioned by the glorious Quran. Then ant communication has also been mentioned, that ants are the most organized animals, or ants, or whatever you can call them. They are the most organized because they have everything. Allah says, وَأَوْحَىٰ رَبِّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا وَمِنَ الشَّجَرِ وَمِمَّا يَعْرِشُونَ ثم كلي من كل ثمرات فاسلكي سبل ربك ذللا يخرج من بطونها شراب مختلف ألوانه فيه شفاء للناس إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. Those that are having thinking, they have to think of what we did to this bee. I mean, the bee that is producing the honey. The bee is an-nahar, while the honey is al-asal. That's the difference in Arabic. So if you say asal, it refers to the residue that comes from the bee. That's the products. And then when you talk of bee, that is an-nahal, Allah said He has revealed to the bee that they should go and be producing or constructing their houses on mountains and on trees and even on our houses. I mentioned that there is a bee there on top of this, one of our minarets here. And sometimes we had the opportunity to get the honey from it, and very sweet. So you can see how sweet the residue and the product is. And they have different colors. They have black, yellow, green. Go to life, you will see different colors of this honey. Then oceanology, Allah mentioned about the deep ocean. In the deep ocean, if you go down the ocean, you will reach a stage to the bottom of the ocean that you cannot even see your hands. Allah mentioned, أو كظلمات في بحر اللجي يغشاه موج من فوقه موج من فوقه سحاب ظلمات بعضها فوق بعض إذا أخرج يده لم يكد يراها ومن لم يجعل الله له نورا فما له من نور. That if Allah has not guided to a light, there is no one that can give you guidance. Then about the inverter, that we are proud of having inverter in my house, in my office, and this and that. All this inverter issue, they were copying from the Qur'an. Allah mentioned between the difference between the sun and the moon. The sun has the original light, and the moon is radiating the light to keep it for us in the night, then it gives us the light. So the inverter now is the moon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about it. He said, Tabarakalladhi ja'ala fi sama'i burujan wa ja'ala fiha sirajan. Sirajan refers to the sun, the original light. Then wa qamaran munira, and the moon that gets its light from the sun. So they are getting the light from the sun. He said, وَالشَّمْسُ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا. وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا, that means the sun will now, the moon will now follow the sun after it's gone, so that he can have the light, so that he keeps the light until in the night, then it provides us the light as we're having it in our inverters. Now, rain formation has also been mentioned by the glorious Quran. The rain formation, particularly the conventional rainfall, when they said it is air in motion that takes the moisture from the earth, from our cooking pots, from when we spread our clothes after washing them, from the oceans, from whatever, and they will now rise up to the condensation zone. After they are condensed, then they will come back as rainfall. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this. وَهُوَ الَّذِي يُرْسِلُ الرِّيَاحَ بُشْرًا بَيْنَ يَدَيْ رَحْمَتِهِ. He is the one that sends down air in motion, wind, that will give glad tidings before the coming of His mercies, of His rahmah. حَتَّى إِذَا أَقَلَّتْ سَحَابًا ثِقَالًا سُقْنَاهُ لِبَلَدٍ مَيِّتٍ. Until when the clouds are formed, they will become heavy, then we send down the rain to the dead earth, anywhere that is dead, that is needing water. So this information has been mentioned by the Quran, and at the same time, rotation of the earth and the revolution or rotation of the earth has also been mentioned, that the earth is moving on its orbit, likewise the other planet. He said, وَالْقَمَرِ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ حَتَّى عَادَ كَالْأُرْجُونِ الْقَدِيمِ لَا الشَّمْسُ يَنبَغِي لَهَا أَن تُدْرِكَ الْقَمَرَ وَلَا اللَّيْلُ سَابِقُ النَّهَارِ وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. Each one of them is driving or is moving on its orbit. So they are moving on their orbit, as mentioned scientifically. It has been mentioned by the Quran. Birds flight, that's about our aeroplane that we can see on top there. It has been mentioned by the glorious Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Mulk, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَّا الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَّاتٍ وَيَقْبِضْنَ مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنُ إِنَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَصِيرٌ. That look at the birds or the aeroplane that are suspended between the heaven and earth. They were suspended. Who is taking care of them? Who is holding them? Ma yumsikuna illa rahman. Nobody is holding it except Allah may rahama. Otherwise, if the plane, how many times a plane fall down? It fell down and everybody dies. Why? Because Allah won't show his miracles. So holding that aeroplane is by Allah's will. Then it also mentioned about the fragility of the house of cobwebs. That is spider. Spider, you can see him from here now. A spider will come and form his own house, thinking that there is a concrete house for him. But even if even an air can move the house, when you come with your broom, the moment it touches it, it goes. But you think he's covered. He's not covered. So the worst and the most fragile house is the Baitul Ankabut. إن الذين يدعون من دون إن الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء كمثل العنكبوت مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء in Surah Al-Ankabut. A whole surah is revealed or was revealed in order to explain this. That the example of those that are depending or worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just like an ankabut. اتخذت بيتا وإن أوهان البيوت لبيت العنكبوت. It formed its house, it constructed a house, but the most fragile house is the house of Ankabut. That is a spider. Not only the fragility in the externally, but internally. Scientifically, they said when the female spider got pregnant, it kills the husband. And after she delivers, the children kills her. And there will be everyone takes his own way. Tell me which of the house is as fragile as this one. So it's just like someone who is worshipping other deity besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then when we talk of male determines the sex, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Qiyamah, He said, أَوْلَا لَكَ فَأَوْلَا ثُمَّ أَوْلَا لَكَ فَأَوْلَا أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانُ أَنْ يُتْرَكَ سُدًى أَلَمْ يَكُنْ نُطْفَةً مِّن مَّنِيٍّ يُمْنَىٰ. That has it not been a sperm that has been thrown or dropped in the womb of a mother? Now, they said scientifically, it is a man according to his ability to push forward and send with force that sperm that determines either to be a male or female. If he pushes it to the core, then the male child will be born. While if a woman, he is weak, then the woman will be given birth to her own part of the female children. The barrier between fresh and salty waters has been mentioned by the glorious Qur'an. Maraj al-Bahrain yaltaqiyan baynahuma barzakhun la yabghiyan. Look at this, the two oceans are coming together. They were merged together by Allah, but baynahuma barzakhun. In between them there is a barrier. La yaltaqiyan. They will never mix up. Go to Brazil, where those waters are. If you take the salty water and put it in the fresh water, it will never stay there. It will come back. If you take the fresh water and put it into the salty, it will still come back. So that scientific invention or whatever knowledge you think of has been mentioned by the glorious Quran. Now coming to technology, we think of what we have a technology, a new thing. It's not. The Quran has mentioned a lot of technological knowledge that we are having now. Let's take an example of a telephone. The telephone that you can talk to someone far away from you without anything that is taking that, is transparent the voice. You cannot see him, you cannot see you, but you will talk to him. Allah mentioned in the glorious Quran about the people of Jannah and the image of hell. He said, وَنَادَى أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ أَصْحَابَ النَّارِ أَنْ قَدْ وَجَدْنَا مَا وَعَدَنَا رَبُّنَا حَقًّا فَهَلْ وَجَدْتُمْ مَا وَعَدَ رَبُّكُمْ حَقًّا قَالُوا نَعَمْ فَأَذَّنَ مُؤَذِّنٌ بَيْنَهُمْ أَن لَّعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. So you can see that the telephone that is taking place, the telephonite that is taking place between the people of the image of Jannah and the image of hellfire, without anything that is connecting them. And the distance between the Jannah and hellfire is about 500 years journey. But they will talk, then it will go to them, and they will respond to them, and they will give them the answer. Now, coming to video calls and television. In Surah Al-Safat, Allah mentioned that in Jannah, when you have a friend, you visit your friend in Jannah, and you want to see the fate of one of your friends, either colleagues or whatever in dunya, say, why is so person that we live together, we school together, we went to college together? What is he now? They will look at a screen, and they will see him. That's what the messenger mentioned. إِلَّا لِمُؤْمِنٍ دَاخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ أَرْبَعَةُ أَبْوَابٍ باب بينه وبين دار السلام باب بينه وبين أهل النار باب بينه وبين نساء الجنة وباب بينه وبين دار السلام. So now this bab, this screen, it shows you whatever you want to see. Now if you want to see me in Jannah, inshallah, you want to see me when I'm delivering this lecture, wallahi, if you look at the screen, you'll see me. Allah will never fail you. And they said that's what is disturbing or worrying the Hurul Ain. The Hurul Ain, they were in Jannah. And our women here in Dunya, we suffer together. Struggle continues. Victoria Asata, isn't it? So we suffered together. We did everything together, isn't it? So when we went to Jannah, now one of the things that they will differentiate between the women of Jannah that we lived here in Dunya and those who rule in is that when you are discussing issues of Dunya, do you remember when things happen? Do you remember when we travel? Do you remember when we go to Makkah? Do you remember when we do this? The inmates of Jannah, that is the Hurul Ain, will say, oh, how I wish we were together. I said to them, be careful, stay there in Jannah. Let us come and meet you there. But if you come to Nigeria, not Hurul Ain, you become Black Ain, particularly under Baba Ahmadu regime. So stay there until when we come. So in Jannah, we'll be discussing issues. Okay, how do you travel? Now, you travel to your wife. When you remember, you see yourself in this dunya when you are making that travel. The time you are traveling, whatever your heart brings, it will see it. So this friend will now ask another friend. They will look into the screen and they will see the person they are talking about. In hellfire, قال قائل منه إني كان لي قرين يقول أئنك لمن المصدقين إذا متنا وكنا ترابا أئنا لمدينون قال هل أنتم مطلعون فاطلع فرآه في سواء الجحيم قال تالله إن كدت لترديني ولولا نعمة ربي لكنت من المحضرين ولولا نعمة ربي علي بالجنة لكنت معك من المحضرين في النار. So you can see we have video calls, we have telephones, we have everything we're thinking about. We have television. Now, coming to sliding doors that we think is an innovation, the Quran has said it, that there is sliding doors in Jannah. He said, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا حَتَّى إِذَا مَا جَاءُوهَا وَفُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا. That wow, وَفُتِحَتْ, the scholar said, it means it's a sliding door that when you come, the sensors will not open because of you. Not like the people of hellfire. وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ زُمَرًا حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءُوهَا فُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا. Until when they come, they will by the door, then it will be open so that they will it will not reduce the punishment. Now, those of Jannah, as you are going, then the gate will now open automatically. So this automatic sliding doors we are seeing is not anything to the people of Jannah. It's something that has been mentioned by the glorious Quran. Last another list, let's go to air condition. Air condition is something that gives you, conducive or the cold air inside and gives out the hot one. Now, if you stay behind the AC, you feel the hot air, but he who is inside the room, he feels comfortable. That's what happened to the people of hellfire, to the munafiqun. Allah mentioned about munafiqun. يوم يقول المنافقون والمنافقات للذين آمنوا انظرونا نقتبس من نوركم قيل ارجعوا وراءكم فالتمسوا نورا فاضرب بينهم بسور له باب باطنه فيه الرحمة وظاهره من قبل العذاب ينادونهم ألم نكن معكم. So because of the time constraint, I think I'm stopping here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us Jannah. Allahumma ja'alna min ahli jannati ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbal alamin.